Yo, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? I would like to thank you guys for tuning in to Only the Realist. I hope that you guys have all had a wonderful day out there, and be mindful that this reading will not resonate with every single one of you. There are millions of energies on planet Earth. And without further ado, we're going to jump right in. This is going to be a life reading, and our first energies out here is going to be the Page of Wands, okay? With the Nine of Wands. All right. There's a lot of guarded energy here, okay? But there's a peak of a restart, okay? Of an adventure, right? And in the sense of energy, right? Things could be feeling like they are, climbing to change, right? All right, we have the Three of Wands. You're waiting for your ships to come in, okay? We have the Star here. Something in motion when it comes to an understanding of yourself, okay? There's a lot of healing and self thought, right? Piecing together something for your feels like some type of mission or honor of one's self, okay? We have the Chariot with the Death, yeah. We have a transformation here. And this is coming in swiftly for you, okay? There's some things leading you to an expansion, right? There's something opening. Three of Swords, okay, with the Five of Cups. But there's a distortion when it comes to matters of the heart. There's a revelation of some sort for things that mattered to you. This is how we compose. We create the picture, right? Nothing is perfect, and we create the next steps from the experiences beforehand, which have given us the advanced knowledge to be able to withstand the experience that is to come forth. Yeah, we have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, it will be hard, difficult, okay? It's you're climbing a new mountain, but there's a determination, right? Okay, and we have the Queen of Cups with the Ten of Pentacles. Grace in motion to, to provide the stability for creation. But your promise to self is, it's there. It's a definite there. You know. And this comes from you being crushed, right? When we hold these abilities here to still keep our heart and our integrity intact while moving through life's experience, it kind of cures an individual in a way, right? You are not infected by, you know, the hatred that you're being fed throughout the experiences, right? We can see that in everyday life, right? Some people are being, mistreated or bullied or harmed or whatever, and their interior starts to become damaged, right? And then the change begins. But then there are others who, like yourself here, whom have faced things similar, and it doesn't erase, it does not erase what makes you you. Yeah, we have the Ten of Cups, okay? Health and prosperity. And this is what is deep within you, right? There's this this thought of oneself to just create something good for life, right? Eight of Swords. It's almost like, where does this lead me? I feel a sense of confusion analyzing your steps here, and Nine of Cups with the Four of Cups, neglection of the emotion. Yeah. And typically, people that give a lot or have a lot to give are typically in this place, guarded emotions with the hint of neglecting the emotions of oneself. I also learned that the hard way myself. Giving yourself to everyone, but never desiring to give anything to self. That, as I grew out of that, I learned a valuable lesson of that, right? And it's not saying to not give to people, it's just manage who you give to, right? And manage how much of that you give to whomever you're giving to. Because although it may not be a bad action to do that, in return you feel drained, you feel unappreciated or, overgiving. It's natural. It's human nature, but we learn from it. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. This is good. Yeah. So what I'm seeing is that you are meant to be here right now, in this place of feeling trapped, right? Feeling like, how do I learn or escape this feeling or this thought, but relief will be given to you, okay? And we all must face feeling trapped, thinking we're trapped, being trapped, or just looking at it in a wrong lens. And I feel like those things are designed, in a, spiritual type of way. Those things are designed to help us think in a more positive way, to help the path clear itself, right? I mean, being offered something is easy, and this is why the universe is so interesting, right? Because when we feel like there's nothing that can happen or nothing that can change the circumstances, automatically or within the time frame of whatever it is that's coming to an end, there's always there's always that space that the universe allows to be there. And also, right, efforts must be sustained in that matter, right? But at the same time, it definitely does piece itself together while you and I and everyone else are in panic mode in that moment, right? And you can learn not to be in that panic mode as well. Obviously, going through several of those experiences can teach you a lot if you latch on to why it happened and why it happened so flawlessly to where everything worked out. We have the Death again with the Tower, okay? It's good. So the Tower is going to come and shake some things up, right? Because again, you're still in this transformative space, right? Where things are moving, but you are still wondering why they're moving, right? Why aren't things just kind of steady? That's why we have the Tower there. A lot of times we don't understand the Tower when the misinterpretation or the miscommunication or the delay or whatever comes in, and the Tower shows up for you. It almost feels like something's going wrong, right? Like nothing's turning out the way that I want it to, and don't try not to disturb the Tower when it happens, right? Because this is the moment where something moves forward, or something moves over, or something is said, something is done, something is allowed to move in the place designed for where it's supposed to be, right? It is what it is at the end of the day, and we have the Lovers, okay? So good decision on your hand. You've decided to, to actually put yourself into the experience, right? A lot of times we allow the experience to happen, but we're not really in the experience. I mean, we don't typically have that much control over the experience, but you know, still we can allow ourselves to be free of certain things while in that space of, discerning what's going on, and that can really race things forward, because there's this wanting. Okay, you're like, communicate with me. You know what I mean? Like, let me know what's going on, right? And I think a lot of people can agree with me that when we are feeling like things are not working out, we do kind of sit with ourselves and we're like, why aren't things happening? Why isn't anything moving? Why are things like this today? Or you know what I mean? And these things are real though. You know what I mean? They exist in reality. Especially how life moves for us, right? And we have Devil here with the King of Wands. Okay, so there's some change. There's some change that's being needed for, excitement or passion. Maybe there's not enough of this in your life. I feel like this is a part of you that's kind of shut itself away, right? But there's this push to, change, right? There's this push to change. I feel like this speaks a lot about isolating yourself or putting yourself in a space to where you make yourself alone, okay? But there's also a lot of good here as well, right? Anyways, guys, that's all that I have for you. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. I would really like to hear what you guys have to say. And if you guys have been with the gang, I love you guys so much. Monistique, and I'll catch you guys next time.